Hello, my name is Suzanne Detres, and I am in the Digital Cinematography Bachelor's of Science degree program here at Full Sail University. I have chosen to interview a very interesting and vastly diverse artist. His name is Carlos Detres, a musician, writer, filmmaker, and photographer. There is no modality of art that he has not immersed himself into. During this session, we'll focus on his most passionate of arts, photography, which he has become most successful in with his privately owned business, amply named Carlos Detres Photography. Just a little background on Carlos. His family hails from Puerto Rico, but he would tell you he's from America, a native of Orlando. His artistic birth began in Miami and exploded in New York City, and inspired by New Orleans. And you guessed it, yes, Carlos and I are related. My opinion, as it may be, is unbiased. My brother is truly an inspiration for me as an artist, and many would support me in saying his work is an inspiration to us all. You can see his work. It's been published with Muse magazine with Anxious Heart of a New Orleans icon, as well as A Stranger. Where does Carlos find his inspiration? He states that as of late, it comes from a famous photographer by the name of Martin Franck. As he explores his favorite genre known as photojournalism, which is Franck's specialty, he finds this particular piece quite intriguing. The photo you are now viewing was shot by Franck in France in 1976. Carlos states he frequently revisits the memory of the photo whilst on photo shoots of his own. Now I want to take you through a quick tour of what I'm calling Carlos Detres, an enigmatic exhibition of the human behavior. Now the photos you're about to see are from Carlos Detres Photography, and it's been used with permission from Carlos Detres via his website www.carlosdetres.com. First, we're going to explore his work through what Carlos calls the fisheye technique, one of my personal favorites. Next up is Monsieur Detres' slow shutter technique. During this part of our tour, we will venture into Carlos's portraits. If you haven't had a portrait of yourself taken from Carlos Detres himself, you haven't had a picture taken. Alright, well this is our last stop in our tour, and here you'll find Carlos's favorite genre, photojournalism. Keep a close eye, you may see some faces you might recognize. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this interview. The first interview question was, what do you see as the role of the visual arts in our mass-mediated world, and particularly in your profession? Now, Carlos states that visual arts and photography is a form of marketing organizations, or for organizations. That's pretty much it. All of our branding has to be visual these days for immediate consumption. Now, the second question states, with new communications and media technologies, imagery is almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on the industry? Now, Carlos states that it can be both positive and negative. It's positive because the artist can get his or her work out there for the world to see without having to have sponsorship from anyone in particular. It can be negative though because it dilutes the industry with artists who could be amateurs or just plain sloppy work, which makes it harder for the really great stuff to be seen and appreciated. Now, it's not to say that amateurs submit sloppy work. That statement is not one and the same. In fact, Carlos specifically states that he finds a lot of inspiration from amateur work. Now, the third question states, What popular images do you see that are frequently rechanneled through the entertainment industry? Now, Carlos and I both were not entirely sure what this particular question was trying to drive at, but Carlos stated that specific arts used or reused, such as the Mona Lisa. Now, the fourth question is kind of tied into the third, which stated, are there particular images in this industry that have been popularized or created? In the Mona Lisa example that we just used, Carlos stated, well, popularized.